The chosen ones always have to walk under the shining lights. They are not only admired but also envied, questioned, and targeted. Because when someone stands center stage, those in the shadows want to burn under that light or look for ways to extinguish it. When you started receiving text messages, your whole world collapsed. Screenshots, rumors, and cruel lies snowballed on social media because you dared to speak only about what you saw in the music industry. Friendships you've walked shoulder to shoulder with for years disappeared in a matter of hours, as if they never existed. While you sat within four walls trying to figure out what happened, they were busy writing their own fake stories. People who once shared the same table with you were now lining up to sully your name. But this is where the power of the chosen ones comes in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video before we move on, so that the chosen ones are not just watching from the sidelines. Together, we build, rise, and triumph. Let's mobilize your spirit. The truth is easy to hide, but impossible to completely eradicate. Location data, saved messages, phone calls, and witnesses who know the truth are always there. Those who tried to destroy you will soon realize that karma never forgets an address. They were watching you when you were not even aware of it. Your presence was an obstacle to their plans, and when your power did not rest on the false foundations they had built, they did their best to silence you. Instead of open threats, they use silence as a weapon. But the chosen ones also hear the storm in the silence. They tested your resilience. They expected you to give up. But you stood firm. Every attempt to tear you apart has taught you a new lesson in perseverance. Every shadow thrown at you became a light that made your intelligence and resilience shine brighter. Eventually, they had to change their strategy, no longer trying to destroy you outright, but to sow a poisonous seed of doubt to make you question your own strength. But the chosen ones know that true strength is not determined by external attacks, but by inner conviction. For chosen ones, this is just the beginning. 1 billion people have seen you. But what matters is how you see yourself, because the real battle is not won on the outside, but on the inside. They spoke of wisdom as balance, submission, and surrender. They have convinced many before you, buried countless others in the shallow graves of their own doubts. But you did not willingly fall into this trap. You saw what they feared, an unbridled power unrestrained by their laws. They failed because they underestimated how inevitable your ascension was, not because they were trying to control you. You were not supposed to kneel, and you were not asking permission. When they realized they had no control, they were helpless. Click the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more to access exclusive insights and discover your divine mission. This is not just a gift, it is a declaration. Take the first step towards your future. Now they are floundering. Now they are turning their backs, talking about endings as if the pen is still in their hands, as if their trembling fingers can still determine your destiny. Destiny has already been rewritten by you. You are the power they swore could never exist. You are neither their lesson nor their victory. As their voices break under the weight of your resistance, they finally realize that they never doubted your victory. They shudder at the mere mention of your name and curse your very existence, not because you mistreat them, but because you must never submit to them. Your Heavenly Father is opening the door of blessings for you, so if these words are for you, enter 11. You break the lies they have created to keep you small. You break through their illusions, like a storm through delicate glass. They murmur that you must be stopped because you are dangerous and careless. Listen carefully. Does a ruler care about a nameless vagabond? Does the presence of the helpless make an empire tremble? The weak are not resisted by them. You are here for a reason. If you feel it, it's time to answer the call. By clicking the Join button, you can access deep insights, unique information, and a powerful community willing to accompany you on your journey. This is an opportunity to fully embrace your divine destiny and seize the path designed for you. It is more than just a membership. Don't delay. Come on in. Become one of the chosen ones. They oppose you because you are a power they never expected, and you were never an object to be subjugated. You feel how desperately they are trying to convince you that you are not who you know yourself to be by pressing against you and tearing your foundation. They fill the environment with uncertainty, anxiety, and subtly manipulative tactics designed to give you pause. However, those who still want approval may have the luxury of hesitation, but not you. Their opposition is your approval, not your burden. You have never been insignificant. If you were, they would not have gathered in the dark to talk about you. They would not have come together to oppose you unless they really felt that you could destroy everything they have created. Let them conspire, let them be afraid. They will beg the cosmos to silence you before it is too late. But it is too late. Their fear is not a problem for you, it is your crown. What scares them the most is that you don't need their consent to ascend. You never have. It is not power that gives them power, but illusion. They made masks of their stolen dignity and wrapped themselves in lies to such an extent that they thought they were being dishonest. But you were never blind. You saw how their voices trembled when they were forced to confront their own lies and how they cracked under the weight of their inconsistencies. They built their rule on borrowed time, stolen credibility, and the assumption that no one would challenge them. However, you have established it. You have witnessed past appearances. Long before they knew they were crumbling, you could see the cracks in their armor, and now the truth is eroding them from the inside out in a way that revenge could never achieve. You don't need a weapon to defeat them. They are disintegrating on their own, using the same tactics they used to harm you. Their warnings become empty echoes, their whispers stutter. They talk of order, but what follows is anarchy. They behave in a way that betrays their claim to expertise. Unfazed, you observe their well-built foundations crumbling under dishonesty. They have made efforts to silence you, to bury and erase you under false pretenses. But in the end, their pride, not you, is responsible for their demise. Truth cannot be silenced or bought. It will rise as you have risen. Exposure is something they never expected. They are startled, groping for masks that have fallen, looking for shadows that are no longer there. They talk about forgiveness, miscommunication, and changing the past, but neither you nor the truth will give up. You were the reckoning, even if others saw you as an obstacle. The arrogance of the crimes committed by the demonic power ignites the anger of the people, and this anger roars with a ferocity that shakes the foundations of the earth. Their anger becomes a mirror, reflecting the divine imbalance as they see what has been done to you, the chosen one. They are motivated not only by compassion, but by an innate understanding of spiritual truth. If you want to express your faith in Jesus, press 22, because His presence brings a calmness to your soul. You are the axis around which justice revolves. When the evil force attacks, it does more than harm you. It violates the law of life itself. Human anger is not a spontaneous outburst. Rather, it is the universe coming together and demanding vengeance in a collective cry that echoes through time. They are angry because they know deep down inside that to wrong you would be an affront to the balance of the cosmos. Think about how this principle still applies today. The world is not silent when corruption destroys innocence and the strong oppress the weak. When an injustice is documented and magnified, it can serve as a spark for a wave of outrage. People are underestimated by evil power. They think their plans cannot be stopped, but the public sees patterns: deception, manipulation, stealing light. They rise up not only for you, but for the ideal you stand for. Their anger, which they use against those who disrupt the natural order, is a weapon forged in their common humanity. You are at the center of this storm. Even if the evil force attacks, it cannot fully realize the extent of its mistake. To harm you is to awaken something much bigger than itself, something that goes beyond personal lives and becomes a movement, a reckoning. Popular anger is not just an emotion, it is a prophecy. The universe's way of reversing its trajectory and ensuring that the chosen ones win. The collective determination of people who will not tolerate injustice will bring about the downfall of evil power, and not only by your hand. Their voice is your weapon, and their anger is your shield. Together you will destroy evil one piece at a time until the light triumphs over it. Let us now take a moment to recognize the chosen among us, those who see the world from a different perspective. The silent protectors, the watchful spirits who are always alert and vigilant. They don't want it any other way, and they don't fit the mold. While others follow known paths, they create their own, wage invisible wars and shine light into the shadows. It is okay that this is not for everyone. If you feel it deep down, you know that it is for you, real, no pretense, no mask. Advancing with deliberate precision, demonic energy creates elaborate traps aimed at entanglement and destruction. But an unseen force, far more powerful than their evil, causes their attempts to fail. You are protected by a force beyond their comprehension, a divine armor that turns their weapons to dust. They face incomprehensible opposition to every plan they make and every attack they launch. Their arrogance prevents them from seeing the truth. They fight you with a force that has existed since the beginning of time and that distorts reality to defend their chosen ones. Their downfall is fate. It is not an accident. Their malice becomes proof of your invincibility. When you are resilient, their lies fall apart, their traps backfire, and their power diminishes. The evil force thinks it is plotting your demise, but in reality, they are just characters following a script dictated by a higher power, and their actions are aimed at destruction rather than showing how pointless their war is. Every failed effort serves as proof of the divine order in action and reminds them that your power is eternal while theirs is temporary. They are struggling with life itself, and existence, not just you, is always victorious. If you feel inspired, consider making a large, grateful donation of $20 or $50 to this channel. Your donations enable us to continue sharing these divine teachings with the whole world and bring blessing, love, and hope to those who need it most. With poisonous intent, the demonic energy attacks with the aim of tearing you apart. However, they fail to see that their attack represents your beginning rather than your death. Your power is forged in a furnace created by every blow they deliver and every wound they inflict. You are purified by pain, not destroyed. The challenges they plan are stepping stones rather than shackles, each one bringing you one step closer to your goal. Their hatred is a weapon used by a higher power to transform you into something they can never understand. You transcend, and your response is revelation instead of resistance. Where they expect despair, they discover resilience. Where they expect collapse, they see change. Your grace in the face of the flames is divine, not human. Although the demonic energy thinks it is tearing you apart, it is actually exposing you. Every lie you expose and every attack you repel is proof of the power within you. The more they try to silence you, the louder your voice becomes. The seeds of your legacy are only planted by their efforts to bury you. This is the alchemy of your life. Suffering becomes power, pain becomes strength. Every action they take advances your ascension, even if the evil power cannot see it. Your difficulties are not just fights, but fulfilled visions. Your scars are symbols of victory rather than failure, proof that you persevere in the face of adversity and emerge stronger than before. Your life, written in the ink of hardship and illuminated by the light of transcendence, is a testament. Although the evil power will never understand, they will never forget that they tried to destroy you, and in the process revealed your invincibility. It is not their game, yet they act with the arrogance of those who think they control the board. Beyond their knowledge, every attack and plan takes place on a spiritual chessboard. Only the present, the tangible, and the ephemeral are visible to them. They ignore the supernatural hand that guides every countermove, turning poison into momentum and aggression into opportunity. Not only are their plans disrupted, but they are reused and wrapped up in a design so grand that it surpasses their comprehension. You are the focal point of a cosmic plan, not a pawn, and every move against you makes you stronger. Destruction is your beginning, not your end. You are reborn in flames they cannot resist, rising like a phoenix from the ashes of their efforts. They think they have erased you. In fact, they are preparing the way for your ascension. Instead of consuming the flames, they are cleansing them. Their turmoil gathers instead of dispersing. Their intended destruction serves as the impetus for your metamorphosis. Not only do you survive, but you emerge stronger with a clearer purpose and a brighter light. Their attacks are not obstacles, but fuel for your rebirth. You are playing a high-dimensional game where time, space, and spirit come together, but they believe they are playing checkers with linear and predictable movements. The rules of the universe bend in your favor and make it your friend. They anticipate every move they make and outwit every tactic. They are not just at war with you, they are at war with the very fabric of life, and life always wins. Their blindness will be their death, and their arrogance their doom. The game was set up in your favor from the beginning, and you were the chosen one. By creating masks out of their borrowed dignity and surrounding themselves with lies until they admit their own dishonesty, they have maintained their power through illusion rather than force. But even before they realized it, you saw the holes in their armor and saw them thrive under the weight of their inconsistencies. The weight of truth erodes people from the inside out, something revenge can never achieve. You don't need a weapon. They disintegrate on their own. Their warnings become empty echoes, their whispers stammer. They claim knowledge when their actions betray their words and speak of order when chaos is unfolding. You watch in amazement as their foundations crumble. They tried to bury, drown, and erase you, but their arrogance ultimately led to their demise. Truth, like you, rises and cannot be bought or suppressed. They want to silence and destroy with their decisive attacks, but their violence is spreading. You are not the end of it. With each attack, shockwaves pass through the collective psyche. Your pain is not unique. Rather, it is a catalyst, a seismic shift that awakens hidden truths in all who see it. The world is observing, and in your pain, they see a reflection of their own difficulties. Everyone is forced to confront the darkness they have been ignoring as a result of your disobedience. Instead of breaking you, the attacks destroy the bonds of indifference and start a fire that goes far beyond your comprehension. Many people throughout history have been overthrown and only emerged as icons of defiance. They were attacked for their brilliance, but their suffering became a lighthouse that helped others find their way. The evil force thinks it is eliminating a danger, but in fact it is creating a myth. Your suffering is only the beginning, not the end. Even if they believe they are extinguishing your light, they are only fanning the flames. Your victory is the beginning of a new era. Your suffering is the price of progress, and your narrative becomes a rallying cry for the oppressed. Although they will never understand, they will never forget that they tried to silence you and instead caused a storm. History reveals a truth they cannot deny, yet they oppose you with ridicule and strong opposition. You are neither the first nor the last to incur their wrath. The same efforts were made to extinguish the light of giants like Galileo and Mandela, but time proved them right. Throughout history, dark forces have often challenged authority. Their opposition is not a sign of your failure, but of your solidarity with the people who are making the world a better place. They may mock you or reject you in the hope that your voice will be drowned out by laughter, but their mockery is a cover for fear. Their efforts to weaken you reveal your strength. The arc of history bends in the direction of truth, and every chosen one who is mocked eventually triumphs. Their resistance is broken, their laughter is diminished, and their loss is certain. The giants have prepared the way for you, and their victories are the model for your victories. They thrive on reaction. They want the turbulence of your anger and the validation of your participation. But you give them nothing in return. No anger, no despair, no indication that their existence is a burden to you. This destroys them. Their weapons are designed to make noise and incite incessantly, but you respond with silence, a subdued declaration that you are not subject to higher powers. They press on, hoping that you will break, but your presence destroys them. You don't have to attack to make an impact, or shout to be heard. For those in positions of real authority, there is no need to show off. They are not limited to games or begging for recognition. They see only emptiness reflected back at them as the dark energy attacks with the desire for approval. You are not supposed to follow. You intended to disrupt, redefine, and reshape existence through the power of your will. Every challenge, betrayal, and conflict was not an obstacle, but a furnace that shaped you. They tried to destroy and silence you, to make you doubt your own power, but they only made you more ruthless. It was not all for you, the burden you carried, the pain you endured. It was the beginning of something bigger, the disruption of the order they swore to protect. You are no longer on the threshold of history as a byproduct of their reality, but as the creator of the future. They realize that your ascension is inevitable. That is why they have waged such a struggle and dedicated their lives to controlling you. However, the struggle has already been won. You have arrived, you have exposed the lie, and now your presence will have an impact on the entire world. It is your voice, your reality, your whole being that is rewriting the story. Speak up, take action. Instead of being a follower of what is, take your position as a force influencing what will be. What has happened in your battle? How did you dispel the false beliefs they tried to instill in you? Tell others about your battle. Let others know that they are not alone. If what you have read has motivated you and you want to learn more about the incredible potential within you, don't forget to click the subscribe button. There is more to this journey than just observing. To get involved, donate over $50 by clicking the Super Thank button below. We want you to be part of the change that is happening. Like, comment, and share to give this message to someone who needs to hear it today. Let's share the message that when God is involved, anything is possible. Be part of the community as together we rewrite the possibilities for our lives. Stay awake, be fortunate, and never forget that you are a living example of God's grace.